Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Light photo tip. Today we're going to do a creative edit using nothing but Apple Photos. The free app that comes with every Macintosh computer built, totally free of charge, no monthly fees, no rental, and this application gets ignored so badly, and it really deserves more credit than it gets. And so I thought today, why not do a creative edit in Photos? No plugins, no extra things, no special anything, just the basic Apple Photos application. And let's see how creative we can get. All right, so I've got a photo up here in Apple Photos, and I'm going to go ahead and move us right to full screen so we maximize real estate. And I look at this photo and I go, okay, what would I like to do to this photo? It's a beautiful photo. It's got some nice tones and colors in it. It's well exposed. Really not too much to correct on the photo, but I do want to do some tweaks, and maybe I want to put a mood on this. Maybe I want to, tone this image a particular way to go for an aesthetic. So let's see what I can do. All right, so first thing is I need to go to my edit menu, and now that opens up the editor for the software, and I'm presented with the top all the way down to all the tools that are available, and I'm just going to go ahead and work in a top-down fashion. And so the first thing is going to be Brilliance, and first thing note, if you're not familiar with Photos or you don't know what anything really is, that's okay. Okay? This is how you learn. Take the slider. You don't know what it does. Slide it to the right. Slide it to the left. Slide it to the right. Now you're getting an idea of what that control does. So, for Brilliance, I'm going to increase the brilliance a little bit. And again, to taste. Didn't mean to do that. All right, so for Brilliance, that looks good. Exposure, the exposure looks pretty darn good. But again, I can slide it left and right. And I'm not going to do too much with the exposure because the photo is actually pretty darn good. All right, highlights. Okay, we've got a little bit of, let's save some of the highlights. And again, if you don't understand what it does, slide it to the right. Slide it to the, see? So going to the left will bring the highlights, save more of the highlight detail. So I'm going to save some of the highlight detail. And that looks pretty good. And if you're uncertain about what you're doing at any time, or you want to get a preview and, just take a look at what you're doing, on the upper left here on the top menu is you have a before and after. So if you hold it down, okay, you're seeing the before, and now you're seeing the after if you let go. The before and the after. Okay, so we'll just keep on moving here. For shadows, do we want some details opened up in the shadows? And again, what does it do? See how the shadows open up all over? I'm going to open up the shadows a little bit, not too much. And brightness, well, that's self-explanatory. It's going to make the photo brighter or darker. So I'm going to give it a little more brightness, but not too much. Remember, when you're photo editing, a little goes a long ways, right? You can always come back and tweak each setting, but don't be too heavy-handed on it because you don't want to have something that looks like out of a horror movie. All right, so the next thing is contrast. Now, contrast is very important because as I'm already working on this, I'm already deciding that I want to do more with this photo than just basic editing. So I've increased the contrast. Let's check the before and after. And you can see there, we're making quite a bit of difference in the photo. And the black point, again, it's the dealing with the blacks in it. So again, you don't know what it does, drag it over. And you can see anything that was close to black is really black, and anything that is going the other way, it removes the blacks. It makes it like a matte effect, right? So this is how you learn, okay? All right, so I adjusted the black point to what I like. And so now saturation, I come into the next thing under the color, and I go saturation. What does that do? Again, it increases the colors, okay? And so I want to move it a little bit more, but I don't want to be too heavy because we see how it looks when it's too heavy, right? So I'm just going to give it a little more increase in saturation and maybe vibrance again. And I think that's looking pretty good before and after. All right. Now you may wonder and go, I question your edits. Maybe you're going too much this way. That it's because I have an intention for this photo. I did the exposure adjustments here and the lights and the brightness and contrast. It's because I planned on doing this in a black and white, and then I may add a sepia treatment on top of it to give it that effect. So that's why I'm adjusting the photo the way I am. Okay, so we're going to come on down and we are going just cruising right down. Grain, if you want to put some grain in, you can. Black and white. Okay, I'm going to turn on black and white, and I like that. You can see. And you can see with my edits that because I was a little bit heavy-handed on the exposures and contrast and that, it makes for a very pleasing black and white. And I can come in and use some grain. I don't mind grain actually, and especially in my black and white or my antique photos and things like that. I actually like a little grain. And if you need to zoom in to turn around and see what you're doing to the photo, you can see I'm adding a little bit of noise or grain in this fashion to the photo. And I like that effect. It's going for the effect that I'm going to artificially maybe vintage this photo. And as I see it in black and white, it looks very nice. And again, the before and the after, I'm liking it. But now it still screams to me that more needs to be done to it. And so we're going to continue on with our edit. And I'm going to come on right down, scroll down to the next thing here. And I'm going to say we don't need any road noise reduction, sharpen, fall off. We're all good. But I do want a vignette. Okay? And you have a vignette function down here. And so I'm just gonna hit auto, see what that does. Okay, that's nice. I'll turn that on and off. See that how it just takes the attention and draws your eye to the middle of the photo? Very slight, but it's a very positive effect. Again, before and after. And I do like that. That puts the attention more to the subject. And we always, as we're editing photos, okay, as photographers, our goal is to direct the viewer's eye to the subject, whatever that subject may be. And by using light and darks, we actually direct where a viewer looks at a photo. Okay? So I want the attention strictly on her, with everything else being a accent in the photo, but never the main subject. I wouldn't want people looking at the roof here of the shed here, right? If I don't want this bright part will take my eye, and I don't want my eye of my viewers over here. So I'm just going to take a vignette and bring that in. It just lessens it down, puts the attention back on her. Okay, now, so far I'm liking it, but it's screaming to me more. I need to do more, and I think I need to do color treatment. All right, so I'm going to come up here. Most people don't even realize there's buttons up here. Okay, we got filters, and think of filters as like Instagram or color tone balancing or presets in Lightroom, so forth, so on. You have different presets, so you can select different presets, okay, depending on the effects that you want to do with the image. All right, and I'm looking for this one, and I'm saying I definitely want a vivid warm, where I put a little sepia. Don't I put a little sepia tone over the image? Okay, and I'm thinking that's looking a lot better. All right, so let me go to the before and the after, and I think that's looking really good. I've made an aged photo, directed the light toward the subject, and I took away the color because the color was distracting for attention, and I wanted all the attention on the subject, and I think the sepia makes for a more interesting photo. You can see there the red and the top of the shed and that. Okay, we've taken that detail away, put a little bit of just a very slight sepia, and I think there we go. I think we've got a very good image. So there you go. In a matter of minutes, and of course I did this very slowly here for the tutorial, but in a matter of, I could have done this in a matter of a couple minutes, and I would have had my finished product. So, like I said, photos is an underappreciated stepchild in the photo editing world. It needs to get more credit because it's actually a really good tool. And again, big point is I did this with free software that came with my computer. I did it with no monthly fees, no rental fees. And was I really handicapped to my creativity? I don't think so. Okay, I think this is a great product, and I think you guys should play around with it. Have some fun with it. Again, you can't hurt anything because this is all non-destructive editing. Okay? Now, what does that mean? Okay, let's say I did this edit. You go, hey, I'm not happy. Don't worry because it was non-destructive. Just hit revert, and we are back exactly where we started. No damage, no loss, no nothing. All right? So, till next week, you guys take care.